Good morning. My name is Mike Ferry, and welcome to a very short, hopefully not too boring, and informative little discussion about what real estate coaching is all about. I founded the Mike Ferry Organization 43 years ago, which, when I say it out loud, is pretty hard to believe. We've been very, very fortunate to do virtually thousands and thousands of seminars for real estate people all over the world. We've had hundreds of thousands of great coaching clients working with us, and we've done millions of coaching calls. So we have some good experience if that is an interest to you. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I'm going to try to answer them. Hopefully it'll make it give you a chance to make an informative, good business decision if something that we do is good for you. So I titled this, What is Real Estate Sales Coaching? And the first question I wrote down is, how did it start? October of 1988, doing a seminar in San Francisco, California, had about 400 very, very high-profile, strong agents in the room. It was a 4-day event. At the end of the second day, I just felt I could not connect with this audience, and that happens. I'm sure it's happened to you with the seller or with the prospect. I couldn't get them to feel and understand what I was trying to say. Towards the end of the day, I made a comment which, quite honestly, changed the real estate industry in a very positive manner forever, and it's still in existence today. And the comment I made was, I have an idea. I should probably ask every one of the 400 of you to give me a check for $5,000. And then I'll call you once a week and I'll give you a good, strong sales tip, a good, strong sales idea. I'll give you an assignment to do. I'll kick you in the butt, pat you on the back. You need more of this information because you're not getting it. And I walked off the stage. And that was at 4 o'clock. The next morning, I came back in the room about 8:30 for a 9 o'clock start, and there were about 200 business cards stacked up on my table on the stage. I said to somebody, what are these cards? And somebody said, well, those are the cards the people that want to write you a check and have you call them once a week. And I said, you're kidding. He said, no, we really want to do that. Well, that was how we started the coaching. And the coaching has evolved dramatically since then, to the point where I wrote down a second question, where are we today in this industry with real estate coaching? Well, it went from being one coach, myself, in 1988, and one coach only for several years, to today. I'm going to guesstimate, and I'm not 100% correct, there's probably 700 to 800 real estate sales coaching companies operating throughout North America and throughout Europe, where we also have a company operating today. And it's interesting because today, if you look on, say, like a LinkedIn, almost every real estate agent has next to their name Bob Smith, realtor, author, usually best-selling author, mentor, coach, real estate trainer. Almost every broker lists themselves as a real estate coach, mentor, trainer. I'm not sure I understand why, but this industry has accepted real estate coaching at a very high level. Why has it accepted it at such a high level? And why is there so much competition for your time, your attention, and your money? The industry, and I've said this for many, many years, does not attract normally strong people that come from a direct sales background. That is not the emphasis that is attractive to our industry. Our industry doesn't bring those kind of people in. We bring in good, solid, working people that come from a variety of backgrounds and work habits and industries, and many, many times people that have never had a job before, and we don't bring in direct salespeople. Well, real estate coaching is about direct sales. Or I will state to you, real estate coaching should be about direct sales, teaching an individual, yourself, how to complete a listing and or a buyer-controlled sale in the most effective, productive, efficient, and best for your customer manner to make your life and their lives better. So I wrote down, Mike, do you have any words you use to describe real estate coaching? So watch, I'm not going to try to sell you on being involved in coaching. If you would like to participate, we would be thrilled. But I think I want to clarify more than anything else what this real estate coaching is all about from the guy that founded the industry of real estate sales coaching. So here's the words that I would use. I wrote down number one, giving an individual, in this case yourself, good solid sales direction. I wrote in all phases of the sales process. But the question really revolves around this. Are you open to direction? Are you open to suggestions? Are you open to being told this is what you need to say and this is what you need to do. Because giving a person direction is a one-way street, accepting it is the second side of the street. Our coaches are trained to give good direction based on the goals you've set. But if you're not willing and open-minded to direction, then it's very hard to really accept what we say. Now let's go back to the fact that too many of us do not have a sales background as we enter this very dynamic, exciting, productive, and strange business called real estate sales. Therefore, accepting direction is many times a challenge. If you're open to direction, real estate coaching may be for you. I wrote down number 2, developing skills. The skills of a salesperson. The skills of a salesperson. We would have to assume a commercial pilot flying you across country has very defined skills. A doctor that you go to, a surgeon, would have very defined skills. The attorney would have defined skills. The chef would have defined skills. The professor, the teacher in school would have defined skills. Every business needs defined skills. We have defined the skills of a salesperson. Often not the skills you have when you join the business. Many of the skills we are going to ask you to learn are not the skills you have when you started. So it's a learning process. I wrote down number 3, developing discipline. In all phases of your business, from showing up every day at a certain time, following a schedule, to doing the job that has been assigned to you between yourself and your coach. Your job is to list and sell homes, period. Our job is to assist you in that process. And it takes a lot of discipline. And the main reason it takes a lot of discipline is because the commissions that you can earn are huge, in many cases, compared to what you might have earned on a previous job. It takes a lot of discipline to do a lot of transactions. I wrote down number 4, understanding the word accountability. Being held accountable to the production goals you've set and the steps necessary to make those production goals actually take place. Accountability. It's a hard one. We ask everybody that joins our coaching to answer a series of questions. And one of the questions is, what level of accountability do you want? Do you want strong, medium, or weak? Everybody says, I want strong accountability. Tell me what to do. Get me to do it until we tell you what to do and try to get you to do it. And then we always have a tendency to back off. Now, watch. Accountability, being held accountable to what you say you're going to do. If you're going to do it, do it. Grade school, high school, and college, if you got an assignment from a professor or a teacher, you were held accountable to finishing it and turning it in. Same thought process here. Number 5, writing a business plan or setting personal goals for real estate. Without a map, it's difficult to get from point A to point B, and that's what writing a plan or setting a goal is all about. How much money would you like to earn in your first 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? If you're an experienced veteran, how much more money would you like to earn than you're earning today? Our coaching seems to attract a tremendous number of people that are what we call medium producers. These are people doing 5, 10, 15, 20 transactions a year. They could be new to the business. They could be veterans, but they're stuck at a level of production. The reason we're attractive to them is because we help them write a goal, set a goal, write a plan, get them to move to the next level. I wrote down number 6, creating a strong sales mindset, knowing that what's going on in your head at a given moment determines not only the effort that you're going to give out, but the results you get. You see, for many, many years, and if you've heard my seminars, mindset, skills, activity, action. Mindset, skills, activity, action. Are you prepared to go out and develop a strong sales mindset, which leads you to the activities and the action? Number 7 word, scheduling. Developing a schedule that will lead you to the production goals you've set. It's the hardest part of our business. Trying to get independent contractors, you and I, to follow a schedule just as if we had a real job. Word number 8 is the word efficiency. Doing more in less time, getting more out of the time you put in. One of the things that we'll work on with you over the course of days, weeks, months, and hopefully many, many years, you have to understand, we have hundreds of clients that have been in coaching for 10, 15, 20, 30 years with us because their business keeps getting better and they become more efficient. They get more out of their time, which gives them more time for themselves, their family, free time, etc. I wrote to number 9, practice and role play. Using the same type of structure, practice and role play, that a professional athlete, an entertainer would use to become the best of the best. We're going to give you a script. You're going to feel a little uncomfortable when you start using that script. That's understandable and certainly acceptable. And then through practice and role play, you're going to get comfortable with that script and make that script part of who you are. Practice and role play. Number 10, the word systems. And we're going to help develop the systems to keep you on track and keep your business moving forward. There's a lot of moving parts when you take a listing. When a listing is sold, there's a lot of moving parts when a sale is made. We have to help you develop the systems to move through those to get to the end result, which is the closing. Number 11 is the word growth. Growth. Understanding the growing is often very uncomfortable. The biggest thing we hear, and I've heard now, gosh, we started the coaching in 1988, so 30 years plus ago, the biggest thing I hear is, Mike, it's really hard to change my behavior. You know, I've been doing it this way as a real estate agent for 10 years. Now you're asking me to do it this way. And I said, I know. Growth is very uncomfortable. I wrote down number 12, the 2 words, duplicatable and predictable. Keeping you involved in activities where you can predict the response you get and duplicate the response and create another transaction. I think I made up those 2 words about 30 years ago, predictable and duplicatable. People said, you can't just make up words. Well, there really are words, duplicatable. How do we get you involved in activities where you can duplicate the result time and time again? That's what makes a great sales business for you, a great sales business. 13 is obviously increased production, which always takes way more time than people want to invest because there's no magic formula for productivity. You know, I wish I could take this pen and tap you on the finger and listings would come your way. I wish I could have you turn on your computer and type in a formula and all of a sudden buyer and seller leads would flow to you on a regular basis. Believe me when I tell you, our competitors tell you that is the case. It can happen all the time. Well, I am a great believer that increased production takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of discipline, a lot of focus, a lot of learning, and sometimes some pain in the process. Number 14, profitability and income. Listen to what I wrote down. Not only earning more, but keeping more of what you earn through good common sense expense control. We see a lot of agents that make tremendous amounts of money, and they virtually spend the majority of that money on their business, on marketing and advertising, buying leads off the internet. We talked to some people recently, 2 young fellows that were in a competitor's coaching program. They were paying $1,000 a month for that coaching. But through the coaching they were getting, they were spending any place from $7,000 to $8,000 more to buy all the stuff that goes with the coaching. We don't do that. Okay, we're going to teach you how to create business, how to find business, how to get business. It's hard work. I had an interview recently with a newspaper person, and she said to me, define in detail, but I need the fewest words possible, what real estate is all about. I said, hard work. She said, that's it? I said, the rest of the story would fill up the entire newspaper. It's hard work. The next word I wrote down is confidence, knowing what to say and what to do to be productive. Knowledge equals confidence. Ignorance equals fear. The biggest thing I see as I do programs all over the world is the fear in people's eyes, the fear in their entire persona, because they don't know what to say and what to do. We have to teach you what to say so you can do what you're supposed to do. And number 16, I wrote down the word confrontation. People look at confrontation and say, do you mean you're going to get mad and yell and scream? Nope, that's not confrontation. Are you going to push me around and make me do things I don't like? No, that's not confrontation. Confrontation is simply asking you questions as to why you're doing what you're doing, which forces you to expose what you do. asking you questions about why you didn't do what you and your coach had agreed to do. That's confrontation. Confrontation is not being tough. Confrontation is asking questions. You're going to have to confront buyers and sellers in the process of listing and selling homes. And the last thing I want to say to you is the Mike Ferry sales system is the most defined sales system that I've ever seen in real estate. Now, I got into real estate when I was 18. During this recording, I'm 73. That's 55 years. I've never seen a more defined, and I want to explain what I say by defined. Watch. Time management, prospecting, working past client centers of influence, your database, good lead follow-up, pre-qualifying buyers and sellers to make sure you don't waste your time, making a strong listing presentation, pricing property so it will sell, handling the objections that they're going to give you, having the closing skills to get a signature on the contract, negotiating contracts between buyers and sellers, working with buyers to get them to buy a little faster, obviously administration of your transactions and staffing if you choose to have an assistant, customer service, which is the name of the game, business planning, writing a business plan, we talked about it earlier, tracking your numbers so we can help you grow, practicing scripts, developing skills, developing a mindset, goal setting and motivation, money management and profitability, business systems, and understanding personality styles. There's 21 steps in the Mike Ferry sales system. You and your coach are going to decide which ones to work on first. If you're a brand new licensee, we're going to start at the top. If you're an experienced veteran, we're going to look at any weaknesses you have in these areas, define them, refine them, build on them so you can become more productive. So how does coaching actually work? You make a decision to improve the quality of your business and you sign a contract with the Mike Ferry Organization. You then second complete our placement interview. I think it's about 43 questions that we ask you to answer. It's a sales history and allows us to then assign a coach to you. We ask you then to listen carefully to a little message, and it's called Getting the Most Out of Your Coaching that I recorded, which we want you to listen to. Then start the review of your coaching kit. You're going to get a huge kit, 21 CDs. You're going to get all the transcriptions of the CDs. You're going to get a place to log all your coaching calls. You're going to get this entire book on every one of the 21 steps on how to make them work. Then you're going to have your first coaching call, and then the hardest part is doing what your coach suggests to improve the quality of your business and your life. If this is of interest, I want to give you our 800 phone number, 1-800-448-0647, or you can go and ask for our coaching sales team through that number, or you just go to mikeferry.com, look under the coaching section. We started it. We've had it the longest. We've perfected it. Virtually, probably 700 to 800 companies now look at what I do and say, wow, we can do the same. And they probably can. I think if you're going to be the best, you want to work with the best. I'm the hardest, the toughest, the strongest, the most supportive, the most encouraging, and the best at what we do with our 85 to 90 coaches we have at all times. Join us, call the office, go online, and thank you for taking the time to watch this, unfortunately, 18 or 19-minute video today. Talk to you soon.